Hello, baseball Spark fans! Today we're diving into the world of baseball intellects and strategists, spotlighting none other than the professor himself, Greg Maddux. Known for his cunning on the mound, Maddux turned pitching into an art form, outsmarting some of the best hitters in the game. But what exactly set him apart from other smart players? Stay tuned as we explore the unique elements that made Maddux not just a great player, but a baseball legend. Baseball has seen its fair share of intelligent players who have excelled both on the field and in intellectual pursuits beyond the diamond. Let's start with Ron Darling, a Yale graduate whose commentary today is as sharp as his pitching once was for the New York Mets. Then there's Mo Berg, a catcher who spoke several languages and served as an undercover spy for the U.S. during World War II. A real-life hero whose story reads like a spy novel. But it doesn't stop there. Consider Reggie Jackson, known as Mr. October for his clutch hitting in the postseason. Rumor has it he boasted an IQ of 160. Whether that's myth or fact, his savvy on and off the field is undisputed. And then there are players like Tony Gwynn and Ted Williams who transformed hitting into a meticulous science. Gwynn with his relentless video analysis, and Williams through his legendary focus on hitting mechanics and his seminal book, The Science of Hitting. Yet, when we talk about a player whose intelligence reshaped his role in the game, Greg Maddux, not just for his academic appearance, complete with glasses and a thoughtful demeanor, but for his strategic approach to pitching that baffled the fiercest hitters. Stay tuned as we look deeper into how Maddux's intellectual approach and unassuming physical presence made him one of the most revered geniuses in baseball history. His story illustrates that in baseball, brains can outplay brawn, and strategic thinking can lead to spectacular success. Greg Maddux's story begins far from the baseball diamond. As the son of an Air Force officer, Maddux spent his childhood moving from place to place, from Texas all the way to Spain. Despite the constant changes, one thing remained constant: his love for baseball. Alongside his brother, Maddux mastered his skills, eventually leading his high school team to a state championship with a pitching style that was less about power and more about precision. Drafted by the Chicago Cubs in 1984, Maddux's journey from a soft tosser to a major league pitcher was marked by sheer determination and a relentless focus on improving his game. Greg Maddux's early years in the major leagues were marked by promise, but also significant challenges. Initially drafted by the Chicago Cubs in 1984, Maddux made his major league debut 2 years later. His first season hinted at potential, but also revealed the raw edges of a young pitcher in need of refinement. With a fastball that didn't dazzle the radar guns and a slender build, Maddux wasn't initially seen as a future star. After a rough start to his career, with an ERA that hovered around 5.61 in his first full season and bouts of inconsistency that saw him sent back to the minors, Maddux didn't give up. Instead, he used the offseason to transform his approach. He played winter ball in Venezuela alongside his brother, where he focused intensely on mastering his pitches, particularly developing a changeup that would later become one of his signatures. The results of his winter efforts were soon evident. By the 1988 season, he started to dominate. He earned his first All-Star selection that year, marking the beginning of a streak of 17 consecutive seasons with at least 15 wins, setting a new standard for consistency in the modern era. His ability to outthink hitters, anticipate their moves, and execute pitches with surgical precision began to draw national attention, setting the stage for the nickname, the Professor. He studied hitters, learned their tendencies, and meticulously planned each at-bat. As we moved into the 1990s, Maddux's career trajectory pointed sharply upwards. His reputation for being a thinking pitcher was now well established, and he was about to enter the most dominant phase of his career. During this period, Maddux also mastered the art of the Maddux game, a complete game shutout thrown with under 100 pitches. Maddux's pitches were known for their deceptive late movement. This wasn't just about making the ball swerve, it was about when and where it moved. His two-seamer, for instance, appeared to be headed straight for the middle of the plate, only to veer sharply at the last moment, catching the corner and leaving batters swinging at air or awkwardly making weak contact. This late break was a cornerstone of his strategy, enabling him to control the game's pace and keep hitters off balance. Maddux once said, "The best pitch in baseball is a well-located fastball." He lived by this, showing that velocity was secondary to placement. His impeccable control allowed him to paint the corners of the strike zone, consistently placing pitches where batters could do little harm. While Maddux's fastball set the stage, his other pitches, the changeup, curveball, and slider, played crucial supporting roles. Each pitch was thrown with a purpose, often setting up the next. His changeup in particular mimicked his fastball's motion, only to arrive with frustrating slowness, sapping hitters' timing. His slider and curveball weren't just for strikeouts. They were strategic tools used to induce ground balls or disrupt a hitter's rhythm. Maddux had an almost uncanny ability to predict and manipulate batters' behaviors. This intuition was rooted in exhaustive study and observation. He knew hitters not just by stats, but by habits. Maddux could recall past at-bats against a hitter and use that history to dictate the outcome. His game awareness was such that he could adjust his strategy on the fly, adapting to the game's flow and the conditions of the day. Maddux's mental game was perhaps his most formidable weapon. He understood the psychological element of baseball profoundly. By controlling the pace and flow of the game, he often dictated how batters approached their at-bats. His calm demeanor and methodical approach contributed to a presence on the mound that was both commanding and reassuring to his team, while simultaneously unsettling to his opponents. In one legendary instance, Maddux told his manager he would induce a specific batter to pop up to third base on the next pitch, and then did exactly that. Such feats weren't just displays of confidence. They were calculated psychological plays that reinforced dominance and sowed doubt among his competitors. Through these strategies, Maddux didn't just play baseball, he orchestrated it, turning each inning into a tactical battle where he was always several moves ahead. As we've seen, Greg Maddux was not merely a pitcher. He was a Terminator, a machine with laser control that would destroy batters with regularity. If this video sparked your interest to collect Maddux baseball cards, we have some great options coming up that would be a great start to your collection. First up, we have the 1987 Don Russ Rated Rookie card. This card features Maddux in his Chicago Cubs uniform, capturing the early days of his career. It's his first major rookie card and a must-have for collectors. The 1987 Don Russ series is known for its classic design, and the Rated Rookie badge adds a nostalgic appeal. As a PSA 10, this card is a pristine piece of baseball history, showcasing Maddux before he became a legend. Number 2 is the 1995 Topps Finest series introduced refractors with a protective coating, a novel feature at the time. Maddux's card from this series not only highlights his peak performance years, but also stands out due to its unique reflective surface and the added layer of rarity with the coating intact. In PSA 10, this card is a brilliant display of Maddux's mid-career dominance and a fantastic investment. Last but not least is the 1997 Bowman's Best card. The Atomic Refractor variant has a distinct crinkled foil background that makes it highly sought after. A PSA 10 version of this card not only celebrates Maddux's continued excellence into the late 90s, but also serves as a standout piece due to its dazzling design and rarity. Collecting these cards is more than just an investment. It's a way to connect with the history and the stories of one of baseball's greatest pitchers. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer to sports memorabilia, these Greg Maddux cards are worthy additions to any collection, representing different eras of a Hall of Fame career. Thanks for watching our deep dive into the genius of Greg Maddux. If you're inspired by Maddux's strategic mastery and want to keep exploring the incredible stories of baseball's greatest legends, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Baseball Spark, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Have thoughts on Maddux's career or another player you want us to feature? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from you and often choose our next topic based on your suggestions. Join our community and be part of the conversation about the rich history and future of baseball. See you in the next inning.